Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhanju ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajakacharya Astatir Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajakacharya Astatir Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission morning class. Dandavat. This seems kind of high again, is it?
It was just illusion.
Huh?
It was just illusion. Oh, now it's better.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitang Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Kampitam Shah Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo. Today, of course, we know is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakak, Srila Devi Goswami Maharaj disappearance day. And we were just moving to Chicago on this day many years ago. I don't remember how many years ago. And the news came to us, and we were just moving into a house that we didn't even have electricity turned on yet. But we tried to do some festival there. After the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, and this is, of course, we have to remember, everything is divine arrangement. And Srila Guru Maharaj is concluding so many talks with this reminder that we are in the midst of the divine will. And more we want to come to the position of not dividing him. He is the absolute truth. Krishna is the absolute truth. That means there isn't anything outside of him. Nothing. That we see something outside of his will. This is our disease. And so Guru Maharaj says the three gunas, the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance, they are three diseases covering the vision of the soul. And when those diseases are removed through sadhana, bhakti, and the grace of the great Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu, and also Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, then we can see that there is nothing but Vasudeva. That is the initial understanding. So in Gita, Krishna says, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, but Samhatma Sudurlabha. It is very difficult to find someone who can see that. But it is still true. It's not that we have this other world here, and this is also real, and then there you can go to this other place where you see things differently. No. Vasudeva is everything. There is no non-Krishna anywhere. So Guru Maharaj's specialty, after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, and he so mercifully directed us to Guru Maharaj, we heard so many wonderful things. And the details of sadhana and the details developed. And Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada knew that he would do this, that he would give us these things. So in order to follow Srila Prabhupada, we went there and found such a miracle there. And we're finding that miracle again and again and again and again. We're finding that miracle every day by listening to Guru Maharaj's talks and reading his books and studying so many things and trying to practice the internal practice of Sharanagati. So we're trying, and this is opening our eyes, even though they're so closed, like a newborn can't see anything, but gradually seeing something by constant hearing from Srila Guru Maharaj. So beyond this Vasudev stage, Guru Maharaj is explaining, where we can see that Krishna's will is everywhere. Krishna is there's no outside of Krishna. This is absolute. Absolute means it is always true. It's true everywhere. It's true for everyone. It's true at every time, circumstance, and for all living beings. And that is Krishna. But beyond that, there is the Shakti. Beyond that, there is Lakshmi, the Shakti of Krishna, the serving potency. And coming to Vaikuntha. And then beyond Vaikuntha is Ayodhya. And beyond Ayodhya is Dwarka. And there is the Krishna conception. The Dwarka conception, Dwarka Krishna, Mathura Krishna, and Vrindavan Krishna. That is all the Krishna conception in different stages. And then within Vrindavan, there are so many things, so many stages, and so of that perfect Vrindavan conception and relationship with the Lord. So this is Vigyan. We're trying to understand all of these things systematically and practice submissively. Give this practice. So we heard it in Bhagavad Gita last night. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tattagachati. That verse, Srila Guru Maharaj said that verse is our internal comfort, giving us comfort and reassurance that we've started this process and it is not easy. And we are, seeing things. The beginner devotee is seeing things in a certain way, and his understanding is on a certain level. And then, but gradually, he must be encouraged to progress in that understanding, not to stay stubbornly in a conception which is the infant stage. But Guru Maharaj is pushing us forward and finally very much emphasizing that everything is within Krishna's will. Nothing whatsoever can happen outside of his will. Nothing. That is, to see that is called Maya. To see something which is not serving Krishna is Maya. So, this is a very complex question, and we're really talking about this quite a lot. How to see even negative things, or anything negative in the light of the absolute reality. This is going to take some practice. So we have our part to play. We have to try. We have to try to please our Guru by progressing and going on. And as we heard Krishna saying, he had a heart which is never discouraged. this discouragement may come, but we know that we mustn't nourish that. We have to keep, somehow or other, find our footing and go on and continue on in our spiritual progress. Sometimes a situation will come and we just want to run away from it. But this running away is not solving our problem, because that Guru Maharaj says that problem will come again and again and again until we face it with a mood of Sharanagati and understand that nothing can happen that the Lord does not arrange, and start to dance in the sweet current of Krishna's will. But we're very, very stubborn and we don't want to do it. We want to practice Krishna consciousness without Krishna. I mean, that's a very strong statement, but we have to realize who Krishna is. We can't just, keep Krishna on the altar and think Krishna is just, then there's the material world that has nothing to do with him. This is a very infantile conception. The material world is not a place. It's a misunderstanding. So all of these things we have gotten from our divine Guru. Namaste, when we took initiation from Srila Prabhupada, very, very long time, 1970, and got our name. Srila Prabhupada wrote me, "My dear daughter Sri Lekha." Can you imagine? So, in that letter, he gave me my name, and then after some time we lost our beads, and we were just like goof heads, we didn't even know what we were doing. So I was, oh dear, well, I just went to an Indian store and bought some more beads. Problem solved. And then in 1985, we went finally, by the grace of the Vaishnavas, like Bhaktinanda Sagar Maharaj was at that time traveling around on behalf of Srila Guru Maharaj and telling the devotees about Guru Maharaj. And he came and stayed in this little community in the mountains in California. And he stayed and he was talking, and I suddenly realized one day, oh my God, this Prabhupada that I was afraid to approach someone else, thinking that this was going to be disloyal to Srila Prabhupada, in spite of the fact that we heard directly that Prabhupada wanted us to go to Guru Maharaj really right after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada. Satsvarup Maharaj came to Los Angeles temple directly from Vrindavan, and he said, don't worry, Prabhupada is sending us to his dear guru, his dear godbrother, who he greatly reveres, whose name is Sridhar Maharaj, and we will be able to take instruction from him. And we practically danced back to our homes from that class. I was with my friend Shati Devi, and we're so happy. We felt, we're going to have someone to take care of us. But then there was something, but it was until 1985 that we finally did go to Srila Guru Maharaj's Holy Lotus feet. And there he gave us our beads again. He gave us first initiation again. And he gave us Gayatri Mantra again. Because we had received Gayatri Mantra, which Srila Prabhupada was not personally present, but the person who gave Gayatri Mantra to us on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, his position was not very good. So he gave us everything again. We got mantra and our beads and everything again from Srila Guru Maharaj directly. So this was some kind of miracle. And so finally we did go there. And at that time, when we were there, Srila Govinda Maharaj took sannyas while we were there at the Mat. So we somehow got the connection of Gurudev also at that time, really. We felt that connection. When I first saw, and at that time we didn't know, Srila Govinda Maharaj was not well known in the world. He lived in the mud and was serving Guru Maharaj day and night, a perfect servitor. But at that time, we went in the early morning to see Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj announced in Bengali that Govinda Maharaj was going to take sannyas that day. And then he got up and went into his room. And when we saw Srila Govinda Maharaj getting his head shaved, both my husband and I, Sri Govinda Prabhu, we were so taken. I don't know why, because Srila Govinda Maharaj does not resemble Srila Prabhupada that much. But we both had the same impression that we were looking at Srila Prabhupada. And he was getting his head shaved in the morning, and then we heard from Guru Maharaj that he was going to take sannyas, and then later that day he took sannyas and sat down in Guru Maharaj's chair. Wow. And Guru Maharaj said, now it's all his. I give everything to him. He's taking sannyas. I've wanted this for a long time. Gurudev didn't want to take sannyas because he didn't want Guru Maharaj to leave, and also he had so many services to Guru Maharaj that he felt he wouldn't be able to do. He would immediately have to leave and go and do many other kind of things as a sannyasi. And so, but now it happened, and we happened to be there. And so Srila Gurudev, at the sannyas ceremony, old Puri Maharaj was there and doing the ceremony and the fire sacrifice and everything. And we didn't know Srila Govinda Maharaj in terms of, we had seen him before, and actually I had cooked for him. Sagar Maharaj invited him, this was before this day, when he was in household dress. And he came, and I was asked to cook. So I cooked fried eggplant. One of the things I made was fried eggplant. And when it was being served, Srila Guru Maharaj said, "Oh, fried fish, very nice."
Srila Guru Maharaj?
Srila Gurudev. Srila Gurudev went to Sagar Maharaj's little ashram there, and he's sitting and he said, "Oh, fried fish, very good." And I thought, I was so surprised, and everyone's laughing, and I got that first impression of Gurudev's incredible humor. And so, and then afterwards, after the sannyas ceremony, we're all, the ladies are sitting, separately, and the gentlemen are sitting over there, and Gurudev starts to embrace all the men, give them an embrace, and then he looked over at us and he said, "And I'm embracing all of you in my heart." And I thought, I was really astonished by that, very unbelievable affection from such an incredibly exalted person. It was just, all of it was like so different. It was a whole different world to be in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. And all these elderly, like senior devotees are serving prasadam, and it was just the formality that Srila Prabhupada wanted to establish for us, because we really needed it. We needed that badly. We needed that form. We needed that structure. Srila Prabhupada never ate with anyone. Srila Prabhupada ate alone. And that he wanted to establish this feeling of reverence that was so necessary for us to cultivate as young Western people who just disrespectful to everyone, just doing whatever we want. And he established some formality. Miracle. The most beautiful days in ISKCON that we loved so much. We loved that. We had very strict lifestyle. There was no question of having a cell phone or newspaper or radio or television movies, nothing of the sort. Nothing. No way. Strict life. Up 3:30 in the morning, arti at 4 o'clock, and service all day. 16 rounds of japa, Harinam Sankirtan all afternoon. Come hell or high water. No matter what the temperature was, it didn't matter at all. We would be out there in Detroit or Chicago in the middle of a blizzard. We'd be the only thing outside. And we'd be like out there chanting. Oh my God. It was such a good life. We were young and we had strength and then the 6 artis a day. And we changed the deities twice a day, every day. So, we learned very, good puja standards and so many things we did. But then coming to the mat was so different. It was a big change for me. Everything seemed so much like family. And we were a family under Srila Prabhupada too, no doubt about that. But it was different. It was really, really different. It was much less formal. In fact, we were staying just down the road from the mat. We were staying at Sagu Maharaj's house. I mean, he had a few buildings and he invited us to stay there because he brought us there and he wanted to take care of us. And so in the morning we'd run to the temple for the arti, the early arti. It was just down the road, but it was dark. And sometimes it was at one time and another time it was at a different time. The Mangal arti was not always at the same time. It was just very, very different. And Srila Guru Maharaj, fully raga bhakti personality. And Srila Gurudev too, of course. They're in raga. And that means adjustment. One day this and another day that. That's not whimsical or mental. This is understanding. What does the Lord want? Does he want the same thing every day? Maybe not. And of course we're not imitating that standard, but it was there. It was there in the mat, that feeling. And we had to learn many, many things, of course, subsequent to that. But what I was going to say was, when Srila Gurudev, after taking sannyas, was going around with his uttariya collecting money, to give to Guru Maharaj, and he looked at us, he looked at us as we were giving something, and super sweet, affectionate face. And then when we had to leave, I wrote him a letter. And I said, I feel that one day you will be walking down the streets of the cities in the West, and people will be falling down on both sides of the road to offer obeisances to you. And of course that did happen. We saw in the airports. And this was Guru Maharaj's knowledge. Guru Maharaj knew what Srila Gurudev would be able to do in the world. And he wanted him to do it. And he knew there was no one else who could keep the inconceivable dignity, fineness of Siddhanta, the heart of practicing life and the heart of surrender. He was all those things personified, Gurudev. And no one but him could maintain that and hold that after Guru Maharaj's disappearance. So there was no gap. He established Srila Gurudev before he left. put him on the Vyasasana, put him on his own chair. Very informal again. His chair was just a chair. Very nice chair, very sweet chair. But he put him there, and then he got up and he said, now he is everything. Whatever is Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, that is under him. And anyone who doesn't want to surrender to him, he can go somewhere else, but he will not be a part of this mat. And in this way, very strongly, he established the position of Gurudev. And we saw all these things. So, we know, I know in my case, I'm an extremely new type of person, and I'm just living on a kind of mercy that I can't even understand. But every day we get up and we have some kind of service to do, and it's just a miracle. Making so many mistakes, and just praying for sincerity, and praying for strength, and dependent, very, very dependent on Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada all the time, and our divine Grandmaster Srila Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And without surrender, then how will I manage? Because I'm not going to be able to make myself into a Guru Maharaj, a proper thinking person, a normal person, from madness to being normal by myself. But Krishna can do that. So we're going on and hearing so many things from Guru Maharaj. And yesterday I heard a class, and one disciple was saying, it seems like drugs can help one in their spiritual life, because after I left ISKCON and I got very discouraged and depressed, so I took some LSD, and then I remembered, I just need to surrender. I just need to be a devotee of Krishna. So that drugs help. And Guru Maharaj said, the drugs, he said, your memory of your understanding came in spite of that drug. It came through to you to save you in spite of that drug. He said, nothing material can ever result in Krishna consciousness. Krishna is the Lord of all material. Nothing material can give Krishna. Then that would be like Krishna, some sort of commodity to be bought on the market. And something material can give him, like something material owns him and can give him. This kind of, he said, this is nonsense thinking, mad thinking. It means you don't know what Krishna is. Krishna is the Lord of matter. He's the Lord of perception. When Prahlad Maharaj was thrown into fire by Hiranyakashipu, but he's feeling cool. It's not having any effect whatsoever on him. Krishna is in charge of everything. There's nothing outside of him, and nothing can give him. He is Anadi. There's nothing causing him or can give him. And he is Adi. I mean, he is the source of all things. And his name is?
Govinda.
And he is the?
Cause of all causes.
The cause of all causes. So, all of these fine points, somebody might go, well, yeah, I guess that's true. But no, Guru Maharaj is taking it all apart and showing, no, this is don't even think to go in the direction of such nonsense thinking. So we're taking full shelter of Guru Maharaj. We're trying to hear him, trying to use our intelligence to understand him through surrender, through prayerfulness, and trying to follow his instructions and worship his most beloved Srila Gurudev. And it's pleasing to Gurudev that we are doing this. We want some service. We don't just want to be sentimental, but we want to please him through making some progress. I mean, we're hoping to. So every day we're reading Guru Maharaj's books, we're reading Srila Prabhupada's books, we're reading the books from the talks of Srila Gurudev, and trying to make those, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chite Te Koriya Aikya, Adana Kariya Mane Ase. Make the teachings of the lotus mouth of Gurudev, of Sri Guru, one with your heart. And do not desire anything outside of those words. Make your lifestyle within those divine sounds coming from the lotus mouth of Sri Gurudev. And Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Real knowledge can be revealed in your heart through his heart. Otherwise it's all chaos. It's all chaos. And Srila Guru Maharaj again, he's saying we are going from chaos to cosmos. Cosmos means a system. A system. Everything is in a system. And we are no longer in this chaos. But sarva karana karana means a system. It means there is a cause. And it's not some silly cause that we point out. And that thing must have a cause. And then that thing has a cause. And then that thing has a cause. And they'll never get to the end of it. Because to get to the end of it requires Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha. Good morning, Divya.
Good morning.
Looking very elegant. Divya Shakti Deity always looks very elegant. Unlike myself. So, today's Guru Maharaj's disappearance day, and the disappearance day of Gurudev, of our divine masters. There's always like a mixed feeling, of course, but at the same time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says he reasons ill who thinks that Vaishnavas die, for thou art living still in sound. In the sound of your instruction. Vaishnavas die to live, and living spread the holy life around. So, anyway, today we're especially praying to Guru Maharaj. We can feel our hypocrisy, we can feel our insincerity, we can feel all of these things. But we have the shelter of our Master. And our Master will never reject us unless we are completely offensive. And knowingly so, and on purpose. We say, oh, well, I'm offensive, so I can't help myself, I'm just offensive. But no, we are trying not to be. And so he's not going to reject us when we're trying. And so we have this shelter. And all the new devotees who are coming to the mission, don't be discouraged. You also have the shelter of these great souls. It's not like they don't know you. It's not like they're historical figures lost in the in the sands of time, fading away in time. No, not at all. They are the pillars of protection in our spiritual life. And they are very much aware of us. More affectionate than the Guru himself is our grandfather Guru. And we feel that. We must feel it. We must feel that. One time it was Srila Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day, and we were in Govardhan. And we, disappearance or appearance? No, it must have been appearance day, I think. Anyway, we were in Govardhan. It was an amazing thing. And Srila Gurudev, anyway, I had some money because my father had passed away and given a little money. So I gave money for that festival. And Gurudev was happy for that. So later on we were all sitting in the prasadam room, in the breakfast prasadam room. And Gurudev walked in and he said, "Do you like khichdi?" He said that to us. And we all said, "Yes, Gurudev, we like khichdi." And he said, "All right." And there was a beautiful khichdi made for that offering. Really such a wonderful thing. And he asked me to say something. And one of the things that I said, just trying to struggle away, but one of the things that I said, and that I have felt in my life, is quoting him from the year before, that the grandfather is more affectionate than the father. And Gurudev said, "Yes, this is very important." And the reason I'm saying all this is so the younger devotees who are taking shelter of the representatives of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj in this world, who are so exalted, so dedicated, don't think, "Oh, I don't have the connection of these Vaishnavas." That's not truth. They know you and they are very affectionate to you. So you can feel that deeply in your heart. You must feel that and know that. And so pleased with you for trying to pursue Krishna consciousness, to hear, to try to practice. They're so happy with us trying. So any questions? You have any questions about Guru Maharaj?
It's very interesting that you spoke more about Srila Gurudev than Srila Guru Maharaj. I'm pretty sure Srila Guru Maharaj will be pleased.
That's what I'm feeling, because I don't know. I'm sitting down and thinking, what am I going to say today? I don't know, like blank, and I'm thinking, oh, what will I say? What am I going to talk about? And then, but it does feel like it was like a blossoming that Gurudev is like the personification of the teachings of Guru Maharaj. He's the manifested personification of all of those things. And we can never separate them. Never, ever. That would be a great mistake. Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev can never be separated in our conception. And those who tried to do that were very much lost. They became lost. After the disappearance of Guru Maharaj, he had very strictly given us the way to go. And those who did not want to go in that way became, I don't even want to look at what they became. And those who did not follow Prabhupada's order to go to Guru Maharaj, they also did not find the kind of progress, maybe very bad result actually. as in some cases. I'm going to say that because I know it's true. But those who were able to take Prabhupada's instructions and come to the holy lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj by some kind of divine grace, oh, such a wonderful thing, such a wonderful thing. I remember sitting in front of Guru Maharaj and he was speaking. This was again the first time I went in 1985, and thinking, this is the most amazing thing that Srila Prabhupada gave us, was the connection with this Vaishnava. I was thinking that, sitting there, thinking, what have we come to? It is unbelievable, inconceivable thing. And I was thinking, Prabhupada wanted this. He wanted us to have the connection of this personality. And it was so amazing to me. It really, really it just, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that such a gift was there and Prabhupada gave it to us. And it was because of Srila Prabhupada that Guru Maharaj accepted us. No way around it. Guru Maharaj was not inclined to have crowds of people around him. He wasn't like that. Prabhupada, coming up just like a lion in the West, fighting with anybody and everyone. I mean, he was like so, inconceivable personality. He spoke, you believed it. You didn't just believe it. He didn't have mental control. You saw what he was saying as being true. It's true. He could put that in your heart. Very powerful. And then we go to Guru Maharaj, and he's sitting in the, Guru Prabhupada in the big chairs and big temples, and he's showing Guru. And Srila Gurudev sitting in this wooden chair, speaking. Srila Guru Maharaj is speaking very softly, but always speaking. It was just always happening. Anytime he went upstairs, he's speaking. Like, incredible. And there's no end of it. No end of it. And, we hear the story that Srila Saraswati Thakur wanted to make a regular publication with just preaching in it. And somebody said, how are you going to do this? Like, so often, I don't know if it was every day or every week, but I think it was that, it's not going to be enough to say. You're going to run out of things to say if you publish something so often. And Srila Saraswati Thakur says, what? There's a newspaper being published every day about the mundane world, which is mundane news, which is just the same thing over and over again, with different names. Shh. But the infinite world, we're going to run out of things to say? It's not going to ever happen. And Guru Maharaj was like that. He was constant, just giving so much, like manifesting so much amazing divine Siddhanta.
I ask a question. What was the first talk that you heard from Srila Guru Maharaj?
Well, when we went upstairs, Guru Maharaj was talking about Srila Gurudev's sannyas. Maybe that was the first day. Or maybe the first day. It must have been the first day we were introduced to Guru Maharaj. That this is so-and-so and this is so-and-so, and they helped with the Gita, and this and that. And then we bowed, and then Srila Govinda Maharaj, and then Srila Govinda Maharaj told Guru Maharaj that their ritwik means someone giving something on behalf of the Guru, that person was not following. And that was a weak connection. in our Gayatri mantra, and that we had lost our beads. And then Guru Maharaj was talking about that and saying how one of his godbrothers lost his bead when he got off the train. You can't conceive of the trains in India. I mean, how many people are on those trains and how many trains there are going here and here and here, and I mean just thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people on the trains, all at any moment. They're not those fancy trains like we have in the West. They're really like rustic. You just benches, just sitting and standing, and goats and everything, like just. And somehow or other, when he got off the train, he saw that he didn't have his japa beads. Guru Maharaj is telling this story to us, as a lesson to us. You lost your beads. Well, we didn't think anything of it. We just get some other beads, But Srila Govinda Maharaj, he told Guru Maharaj, they lost their beads. They want to get, maybe you give them. And so Guru Maharaj said, and he sat there on the platform waiting for his beads to come back. That train will have had 10,000 people on it before it came back. I mean, or something like that. I mean, it's, you could say it's not going to happen. No, it's not possible. But one day, I don't know how many days he sat there, but one day a train stopped, and a man came out of the train with his japa beads. Are you kidding me? No. And gave them to him. He said, I found these on the train. Are they yours? So Guru Maharaj said, do not ever lose your beads. You keep these beads until you die. They've been given by the hand of Guru. They are made from tulsi, and they're imbued with the holy name. You keep these beads. He gave us an instruction. And then later he talked about the doctor, how we must trust the doctor. The doctor has come to cure our disease, like Guru, and so many things like that. And then he gave us our japa beads and gave us our Gayatri mantra again, everything. And then when we were leaving Navadvip, we came to offer obeisances to Guru Maharaj, and he said, Krishna is far, but the devotees are near. Don't ever be away from the devotees. Yeah, and I think it was the second day that when we went up and Guru Maharaj was talking about Srila Govinda Maharaj taking sannyas, and then that all happened. We weren't there that many days, but we got to do some seva, we got to clean, we got to actually cook, which is a miracle. And I got to cook for the sannyasis also, and make some medicine and things like that. Yeah, it was an amazing time. And it was my first time in India. I'd never been to India before. And straight to the mat. And got off the train. And in those days, there wasn't hardly any electricity at all. Like almost nothing. And all the evening arti, this was in... Anyway, this is in 1985, in October. Oh my gosh. I'm remembering a lot of things now. But anyway, we got on the rickshaw after the train, and I was just horrified because it was pitch dark. I mean, I couldn't see anything. We were just going down the road on this rickshaw, and man is on his bicycle pulling us, and we just see some lights and some people gathered around a fire, here and there here and there. But I thought, how does he know where he's going? He had a little teeny box.
Candle, right?
Yeah, a little teeny candle, which basically lit up his handlebars. But I guess it's so that somebody will see him coming and they can see somebody else coming. But otherwise you couldn't see anything. And that was so surprising to me. And then we got to the mall, and it's just, there was no electricity. It was just lit up by candles. And that was my first time in India. Many things happen. Hare Krishna. And then, and then we saw Srila Gurudev in Calcutta when we were leaving. We left on the train. I don't know. We went to the Calcutta temple to spend the night before leaving India, and Gurudev was there. And he was so friendly. He said, he had been there a couple of days, and he said, "How is Guru Maharaj?" I felt like, I think he's good.
I think he's what?
Good, I think he's well. I don't know. Like, he's asking us like we're part of the family. How's Guru Maharaj? Oh my God.
How's he doing?
So, yeah. But there was a great change in our life after connecting with Srila Guru Maharaj. And our great change in our understanding. Great revolution in our understanding, in the feeling of Krishna consciousness, in the humility that we saw in the devotees in the mat. There wasn't like a big position thing. Nobody felt like, like, as I said, devotees who had been in the mat for 30 years were serving prasadam to us, who were, Western whatever we were, and happily, and you couldn't get them to stop either. It's like, no, I don't want any more. You have to they just gave with so much generosity and enthusiasm, and I just learned so many things just from those few days. Just changes. Not even learning, like a baby starts learning as soon as he's born, not through the intellect necessarily, but just from feeling his surroundings and watching. He's unconsciously learning many things. That's how I felt when I went to the mat. Many things, just so, it was really so astonishing for me. This difference in atmosphere from ISKCON. But that ISKCON experience was also like a miracle for me. And it was what is necessary at that time. But then we got this kind of, I want to say, undeserved promotion to go to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat and feel the atmosphere of that place. It was very astonishing. And later on, after the disappearance of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev was already there, already on the Vyasasana. That's practically unheard of. Guru Maharaj wanted to make sure, don't make no mistake. I'm putting him on my seat right now, and I'm retiring. And he will give first initiation, second initiation, sannyas, everything. He is now the absolute, not relative, the absolute Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Made sure there was no gap at all. Gurudev completely embraced. He was already the heart and soul. He was already the beating heart within Chaitanya Saraswat Mat with Guru Maharaj, and that continued without missing a beat, you could say, after the disappearance of Guru Maharaj. So he made sure there was no time when we felt unprotected. And wow, what Gurudev did, and is doing. And so we're searching for them. Again, we don't live in the past. But these are things that are lovely for us to remember. And I hope it wasn't boring for anybody. These are kind of my own experiences. But we are living, continuing in the day and in the moment to try to search for them because we don't know them. We've never seen their divine form. We've had some touch of their sweet grace, but they want us to continue in our search and continue in our progress, to really qualify ourselves to sit eternally at their holy lotus feet. And we have all nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatin tatakachati. We have all confidence that we will be given chance after chance after chance to continue, but we don't want to waste any time. We want to go on happily in the company of great devotees, friends, our friends, who are also pursuing this spiritual life very carefully, like the ladies in the kitchen and the gentlemen here. All these great, really, the devotees who are coming, the devotees who will come in the future, the devotees who have been, all of them, Hoy Chin Hoy Bin Prabhu Jato Bhaktajan, that means those who were here, those who are going to be here later, and those who are coming, all of them, Vandana Kori Ami, I am Vandana Koryami Shabarachana. All of them I am worshipping their feet. So going on happily, who knows who Krishna will give us their association in the future, where we will be in the future, but it will be awesome, it will be wonderful, we have nothing to fear, everything will go on, and it will go on more and more wonderfully by their holy grace. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajakacharya Astatera Sata Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Tirbab Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajakacharya Astatera Sata Sri Sriman Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajakacharya Astatera Sata Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And all the holy feet of those who are their devoted servants forever and ever Ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Gaur Chandraju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhanju Ki Jai. So Guru Maharaj said, when you are climbing a mountain, when you are riding a bicycle up a hill, you must continue. If you stop immediately, you will go down. Immediately you will slide backwards. So we have to keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. A little bit or more or whatever it is, but every day there should be some progress in surrender. Surrender is the life of our progress. And this is the main teaching of Guru Maharaj. Jai Sri Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ki Jai. The practice of surrender will go to the deepest, deepest, darkest roots of our attachments. It's not for the faint-hearted. Guru Maharaj said, everything will come to the light of day in public. It will all come out. And we will bow down to the circumstance which brings our attention to what needs to be eradicated in our life. Otherwise we'll just float on some external thing. And it will not be very powerful sadhana. Guru Maharaj said it will take many, 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 many lifetimes to make progress without surrender, without the practice of Sharanagati. We may be able to maintain some lifestyle, but it will not go deep into our economy, and it will not be satisfying for us either. We can lose interest. And it's not, and then we think, no, I just need to do more of that external thing. No, we have to go much deeper. And it takes a lot of courage. It doesn't take that much courage to see that there's so many bad things happening. But it takes a lot of courage to know that they're happening inside of ourselves. But we are courageous. We are disciples of great gurus. When Mahaprabhu met that one Brahmin in Mathura, he knew, oh, you must be the disciple of Madhavendra Puri.
Ramachandra Puri?
No.
No.
Not Ramachandra Puri. No, Madhavendra Puri. He said to that Brahmin in Mathura, remember Ramachandra Puri is so offensive. But Madhavendra Puri, because he could see the quality. Oh, you must be Madhavendra Puri's disciple. So we want to go on courageously under the banner of our gurus, and not ignoring, but embracing their instruction. And that's going to change the very essence of who we are. Or in another way, bring out the essence of who we are that we have never known ourselves. Never, not ever known. Once that essence is known, that can never be lost. Any comments anywhere?
Yes. So Ganga Lila Didi says, so good to hear about all that past.
Jai. Fireworks going on in the kitchen.
Jai. Sriman Krishna Prabhu says, Srimati Shri Lekha Dasi.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Bhima Mahaprabhu. Yes, brave and courageous to seek out the truth, and courageous to find out what is not true, and that takes a lot of courage. When the circumstances come to poke something in me that needs to go, that whole ego will have make such a noise. And we have to ignore that noise and let that die. That's the depth of Sharanagati. In the beginning stages. That is only the beginning stages of Sharanagati. Sharanagati is eternal. Sharanagati is the heart of every one who loves Krishna. It is our eternal relationship with Krishna. What else will it be? But it takes many, many forms in the upper plane. Hari Bol. Hari Nama Krishna thinking about that talk yesterday. I wanted to add one more thing. The Srila Guru Maharaj was saying that these herbs or substances have a certain potency only if the Lord gives it that potency. He said the yogis who are fasting and doing austerities in the jungle, can you imagine? Can you imagine just leaving home with nothing and going and sitting down in a jungle? He said sometimes they're starving, or they're so cold or so hot, and there are herbs in the jungle that can reduce hunger and that can make hot feel cool and make cool feel warm. He said, and they will take those to help themselves to survive their practice. He said, but only because Krishna says that that herb will do that, will it do that. If he says it will not do that, it won't do that anymore. If he says that the sun gives light, it gives light. If he says the sun doesn't give light anymore, it doesn't. And he said this we have to always understand, always. There is nothing material. To see something as material means we don't know that Krishna is the cause of that, the cause of everything. And then he said, don't look at things like that, like a material thing has some independence from Krishna and can give Krishna to you. He said that's insanity. Anyway, I love that. The talk was very, very nice. He brought many points about it, but I forgot about that part. There's medicinal herbs have their medicinal action only because the Lord says so. Nobody else can figure out why. They can see it does this, but why it has the power to do that, why it works. Nobody knows that unless they know sarva karana karanam. They really don't know. Anyway. Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gaur Chandragiri Raju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindade Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sannyasi Vrinda Ki Jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Tadisaka Mat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai. Kol Kartal Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Acharjasta Terasata Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Tirbab Mahamahotsav Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi tonight, 6 o'clock will be RT, 6:30 will be the program here. If anyone would like to join us, it will be here in this on YouTube and on Facebook. So it would be really great if you'd like to join with us.
Srimati Lekha
Jai Gurudev Ki Jai. Hari Bol.
All right.
Dandavat.
Dandavat.